Welcome back, everybody. The Johannesburg International Comedy Festival returns with a feast of comedy delivered over 3 days. With its long-standing tradition of offering world-class comedy experiences, they will be showcasing the hottest local and international acts on offer. This will be happening at Emperor's Palace in Kempton Park from Friday the 31st of March to Sunday the 2nd of April. To share more on what can be expected this year, we are joined by comedian Stella Dlangalala. Stella, very good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Welcome. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Good to have you on the show this morning. First of all, just take us through this year's edition of the Comedy Festival.
So it's, as you said, it's happening on the 31st until the 2nd. I will be part of the comedians that are opening up the act on the 31st of March. Myself, Sistenji, Felix Shlope, Mashabela. There's a lot of wonderful acts coming in. There's group acts, many comedians in one night, and there's also solo performances by wonderful comedians such as Ted Nkonzo, Yasin Barnes, Kanyisa Bunu, quite a few. So a lot of yummy scrumptiousness and funniness to come up.
Yummy scrumptiousness and funniness coming up. So how do you guys go about preparing for your set?
I think different comedians do it differently. Others improvise and sort of feed off the audience, and some of us, we write. So I write a lot of my stuff and then go to a live audience to practice and hone and craft. And most of us speak about like what we relate to, like personal stuff or politics. It just depends on your interest.
Yeah. So what is it that you really focus on? Is it, social stuff, political stuff, or just about anything under the sun?
I focus mostly on like social stuff and personal stuff and stuff that I witness. I'm a very like curious person, so I'm always watching my friends and family and strangers, and I'm very curious about like human interaction. And so I speak a lot about like what I see happening, as well as my own personal stuff, my love life, my career, how I'm coming up in the industry and all of that. So stuff that I feel people can also be like, I get that. It's funny because I get it.
Right. So do you find that you have to change your script when you are on stage? I mean, just judging from the kind of energy that you're getting from the audience.
Yeah. So sometimes you plan a certain set. So we call them sets, and you get there and then the audience is not really feeling what you're saying.
Right.
Then you have to start like thinking quickly on your toes that, okay, maybe reroute and find something else that is funny. So it's also good to have a lot of like people skills and also good improvisational skills as well. So you can think on your toes and go, because you don't want to die. When people don't laugh, we call it like a death. When they just
if that happens,
you don't get it.
What do you do? Do you lose strength? Do you lose
you panic in your head a little bit because you're trying to find the ones that you think are going to work. Because if people are so different, I'll think that what works for you is going to work for the next person. You might think I'm hilarious because of the certain joke, and then I tell someone else and they're like, I don't get it. You're like, okay, no, but, or maybe you just don't get it. Okay.
So Stella, as a comedian, are you born funny, or is it just a craft that you master along the way?
I think there's a part of you that has to be born funny. Otherwise, it becomes more difficult. I mean, there's different kinds of funny. There's dark humor, light humor, political humor. So you're just going to find where your niche is and not force things. If you have to force things, then that's when it goes wrong. And it shows because it's live. The audience can tell that, no, man, even you're not believing what you're doing. But I've met people that think they're funny and everyone's like, no, but they keep pushing and then eventually they do well. So I suppose it's also resistance and resilience rather at some point. Yeah.
So how do you know that you're funny?
I think it's a difficult one. But I know it's funny because in high school, I used to do drama and I used to lean towards comedic monologues. And every time I did those, there was always laughs. Like even during break time, they'd be like, oh, do that monologue that you did in drama class, please. So I'd go, okay, cool. At least, maybe not like the most funniest girl. I wasn't the class clown, but I was entertaining. You know, I was very good at like just knowing how to, comedic timing is what I'm at least, how things land. Because you can say something one way and then say it another with certain pauses and it becomes funnier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you find that some comedians are more funnier than you, or some are just boring as hell?
I don't think I'm the funniest. I think there's definitely funnier people, but I'm up there. I'm up there with the funny ones. Yeah. I think that's why I've been invited to perform at the Joburg International Comedy Festival. It's not just anybody, you understand?
And it's not just anybody who comes to Morning Live.
You understand, you see. So here I am. So clearly I'm doing something right.
Okay, earlier on you mentioned political humor. So where do you guys draw the line in terms of not hurting or not offending certain people in political office and just exercising your freedom of speech?
I think it's becoming tricky. It's becoming tricky to know where to draw the line, because the line is very blurry, and also it's difficult to be policed when you're really trying to just speak your truth. So I think a lot of comedians, we're just trying to speak on our truth and hoping that people will be open-minded.
Yes.
Because there's truth in comedy. You know, it's not just we just woke up one day and thought, oh, this is funny. There's a truth in what we are speaking about, but we're bringing it in a light way to hopefully open up your mind to see things differently. I think South Africans are very good at comedy and humor because there's a lot of stuff that we're going through, and so we deal with trauma through humor. You know, people like to say, oh, South Africans don't take anything seriously. I think we do. It's just that there's so much going on that we just not laugh sometimes. So we just hope that the audience can be open-minded, because you're always going to offend someone. You know, especially if you're still dealing with something and I talk about it, and it might touch you. You know, you might get hurt.
Sure.
But if you're ready to speak about it, you're more open-minded to speak about it.
I know South Africa is a very humorous nation.
It's a humorous
I just read a
nation.
tweet the other day saying that when South Africans go to heaven, and then God would be like, izinja madoda.
Oh, Kabadia.
Oh, Kabadia.
Absolutely.
Stella.
Lovely chatting to you. Thank you for having me.
Stuff. All right, this year marks the 8th edition of the Johannesburg International Comedy Festival, the largest independent international comedy festival in Africa. We just spoke to Stella Dlangalala.